be in gold when it doesn't do good.
Right.
You should only be in gold when it does really good.
It's the people who bought its fault.
It's the dumb people.
Yeah.
It's the dumb
people.
The ones who deserve to lose it.
Yeah. Mark, is there any way known to mankind that you know of to predict what years are going to be good for gold and what years are going to be bad?
I've tried. Never could figure it out. Do you?
Been there, done that.
Tried it.
The key to gold is knowing when to hold and when to use it to purchase stocks or other assets. So in other words, what he's saying is it's kind of like going to Vegas and somebody saying, well, what's the secret to winning in blackjack? And you say, hit 21. Of course it would be beautiful if I knew what year Indonesia was going to be good, what year gold was going to be good, what year high dividend paying foreign stocks was going to be good. That would be beautiful, but it's a fantasy. It's not real. No one can do it. See, Peter, we don't have an argument with you that you're not a bright guy. You're really bright. You're a smart guy. But when we have a beef with you is that you think you can predict the future. The future is far too robust. It's not a closed linear equation. It works on a chaotic system that's well beyond your ability to grasp. You're really playing God trying to predict what will happen. So even when you get it right, you get it wrong. So yes, you predicted the economy was going to crash with the real estate crash. But you didn't know, for example, one of your biggest predictions was that the dollar would crash. And it didn't happen. And as a result, people were hurt that took your advice. It is always possible that things could get so bad here that you might need to flee. What he's meaning is flee the country. Oh, really? Things are going to be so bad, we're going to flee the country. Why? Is that because Mexico is going to invade us? Because Canada's going to come down, they're getting too cold up there? I mean, what exactly is going to happen that we have to flee our country? Is Russia going to take over? China going to take over? We're going to have another World War III? I mean, these are the only things I can imagine that where you would actually have to flee your country. Can you imagine any other scenarios where you have to flee your country? This is alarmism. This is destructive.
Yeah, I think that's the Armageddon, case. I think that's, the collapse of the system. So there's chaos in the streets, and it's people fighting people, and you have to get out of the country because there's just mass chaos.
It's like The Walking Dead. It's like
yeah,
you're going to have zombies and
roaming the country, ready to eat your brains. That's what.
Are your clients worried that, I mean, maybe they are, that there's going to be such a complete meltdown that people are going to be fighting for food, and I mean, I don't know what's going on out there with real investors.
I mean, some are. Some think that alarmist nonsense, and I mean, what can you say to somebody like that? I mean, they have this in their mind just because of what they've seen on television. There's really no basis for it. But back to Zach's point, if something like that happens, I want to call Peter and find out which country has the best stock market, and that's where I'm going to go for that year when I flee the country. How's that?
That's a good one.
Therefore, it's a good idea, he says, to have some waiting for you, he means gold here, on the other side of the border. So you should take some gold, hoard it, but not here in America. You should hoard it like, in Canada. In Canada, I mean, in the border, right? So that means Canada or Mexico. There's only two borders, right? No, it doesn't mean that. He means that you should open an account with him in Australia, because he has a nice little thing set up in Perth, and you can move your money over there. He also has a credit card set up in some offshore places with an offshore bank. Where's it?
Cayman Islands?
Cayman Islands.
That was St. Vincent or something like that.
St. Vincent, yeah. I mean, that's where I want to send my money. I want to send it to an island, to a bank that Peter Schiff owns. And then put all my debit card in the gold. That's what I want to do. That's a great strategy.
But you can't. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I said you can't do that if you're a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, of course you can't do it if you're a U.S. citizen. So he says, what if I'm wrong? What if his forecast is wrong? It's not as if foreign stocks will fall because U.S. stocks are strong. Foreign stocks tend to go up when the Dow goes up. Okay, so here's the scenario. He believes if the Dow goes down, foreign stocks will go up if American crashes. But there's a problem with that. Foreign stocks and U.S. stocks have a correlation of approximately 0.5 to 0.7. So they're positively correlated. If the U.S. goes down, your foreign stocks aren't going to save you. If this happens, Peter, if this happens, you're not going to be safe with foreign stocks. So, newsflash here.
But only the dividend-paying ones?
Huh?
Only the dividend-paying
Only those neither. So he says, what if I'm wrong? Therefore, it's a good idea to have some waiting for you over the border. He says that the U.S. stocks climb over the next decade. You won't necessarily be losing money if you're mostly in foreign stocks. Wow. I'm perfectly willing to admit that over some short time window, my strategy could lose money, he says, but you cannot do serious investing unless you're willing to ride out the unpredictable short-term ups and downs. So why are you predicting the future? Why are you predicting this massive crash in the near future if you say you're a long-term investor? It makes no sense. I'm even more confident, though, that you'll do okay with my approach, even if I'm wrong about my dire outlook for the U.S. economy. However, if I'm correct and the U.S. economy does fail along the lines I have predicted, that is when my investment strategy would be most effective. But still, I'll admit, some people lost money by following my investment advice, even after many of my predictions came true. Here's the problem. If you make a prediction about the economy, but your recommendations of what to do with the money are wrong, then you're wrong. It's kind of like the president saying, well, I really helped the economy. I saved the economy, but I just didn't know how bad it was going to be. That's just as wrong as not being able to fix it. It doesn't matter why you were wrong. You were wrong. And in the book, you talk about, the fact that I was right about the market, but I was wrong about how people would react. Again, what difference does it make? You're still wrong. He says, my critics love to point this out, and rightfully so. Mine lost money because I knew the crisis was coming, but misjudged how other investors would initially react once it arrived. Okay, so let me get this straight. You were right about your prediction. Is this making too much sense? Because I don't want to make too much sense here.
It's making a lot.
Okay, so look. So the prediction is the U.S. market's going to crash. Housing is going to crash. So what exactly couldn't you predict? You couldn't predict that the market was going to crash? So the whole real estate market was going to crash. You couldn't predict that that would have effects internationally? You couldn't have predicted that it was going to hurt the international markets? Really? You couldn't predict that? Very interesting.
What I don't understand is if you knew that was going to happen, there certainly were people who made money in 2008 in the 2008 crash, like John Paulson, who shorted the subprime loans. So why wasn't that the recommendation? Because you could have made billions.
Yeah, why doesn't the book? That's a great question.
Thank you.
You have just taken the pebble from my hand. That was very good. That was wonderful what you just did there.
Thank you.
That's exactly right. I was going to say, why didn't you just tell everybody to buy T-bills or put your money in the money market for 12 months while this nonsense was going on? But you did me one even better. Sorry. Why not be like